You came in like a thief, and you stole the crown. Your lies keep piling up, and we watch them weigh you down. The fear and greed that you stole, they run the whole fucking show. But we are not afraid, and we will not let go. The bigots rise, and you fan the flames. You build an empire of fear and pain. You're hand in hand with the billionaire scum, selling out this country while you play dumb. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate, we will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will You think these cages are built for the poor and for the weak, for the families torn apart while you laugh and tweet? Look at the puppets dance to the corporate sound, but we are still here and we will stand our ground. There is blood on your hands. We have seen the truth erased. You put the profits first instead of the people you've displaced. History is watching, and it won't soon forget. It may not be you this time, but you could soon be next. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate, we will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will rise. Burn it all down, tear it all apart. Burn it all down, tear it all apart. Burn it all down, tear it all apart. Lies on the screen from the deadline machine. Burn it all down, they killed the American dream. Go play an escalator, a tower built on decay. Smiling like a tyrant while the world fades away. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold it for fame. History won't forget your name. Fake empire built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed. Break the chains, fight the fire, dethrone the king, take it higher. Broken to cages, you got blood on your hands. Worship the dollar while you ignore our demands. We storm the gates, our rage is fueled by your lies. We will sit back and watch as your empire crumbles and dies. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold it for fame. History won't forget. Nay, nay. Fake empire built on greed. masses greed on a gilded stage, dividing the people, fueling the rage. Walls built high, but compassion's low. Truth buried deep beneath the show. No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. Families torn at the borderline, justice denied, time after time. Prophet's soul on the planet burns. When will we learn? When will we learn? No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. It's just begun. Resist the power and break the chain. Rise above all this hate and this pain. Together we're strong, we won't divide. In our unity we will find our pride. The fight's not over, it's just begun. 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 The fight's not over. Whispers turn to battle cries. The truth is dead, been fed to lies. They sell us lies in the name of peace. What justice runs beneath the leash. They write the laws just to serve the few. We bleed beneath the red, white, and blue. But freedom's fire still burns inside, where truth and treason often collide. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. No peace without the will to fight. No dawn without a rebel night. The balance a joke and the court's offline. And American justice lags a decade behind. So strike the drum and light the flame. Each beating soul will rise again. The people's wrath is a sacred flood. The soil drinks deep the martyr's blood. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. Not for glory, not for gold, but for the stories that were never told. For every voice that they tried to drown, we will plant the flag and hold our ground. So raise your voice. your fists. We are the storm that they can't resist. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must grow with the blood that only the brave know. And if we should fall, then we fall as one beneath the rising blood-red sun. The tyrants will fall and the people will rise, because freedom never truly dies. They build their towers in the sky, hoarding wealth while the workers die. Billionaires with blood-stained hands, trampling lives to expand their brand. They say they earned it, they say it's fair, but they only take while we despair. Their pockets are fat and their hearts are cold. Working ourselves to death makes them more bold. But now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lies and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. The system is rigged, it's all just a game. The rich pull the strings, the poor take the blame. Wealth hoarders live in mansions, the people live in chains. The billionaires don't care, they cash in on our pay. Luxury is a cage, they've been built on the backs of the common workers that they keep under attack. But we the people, we've had it rough. Their empire is fragile, we've had enough. And now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lies and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you only got whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. No more silence, no more living in fear, no more being divided, no more broken man's tears. Don't try to keep us down, you are not our king. In every city and every town, let motherfucking freedom ring. Because the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lies and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. We signed up to fight for freedom, not to be the boots on the necks of Americans. You used us, you lied to us, and now we're coming to square the account. Get fucked and die mad about it. Admin Tip 360, bitch! We wear the scars, we bear the pain. We watched our friends die in blood and flame. You said that we fought for liberty, but we came home to fight hypocrisy. You turned the rifle around on peace. You crushed dissent, you unleashed police. You sent us in just to guard your throne. You turned the streets into a combat zone. Not in this fight, we citizens still asleep. Wake the fuck up! To my fellow veterans, remember your oath! Our freedom is dying right beneath our eyes! The people in charge tell us nothing but lies. The common people starve while billionaires see, and we're the ones tossed out in the street. Let's eat the rich, let's make them pay their share. Paying their taxes is a burden they can bear. Make billionaires slay again. Not in this fight, we have the line. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. Not in this fight, we are the line. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. I got something for you. Hang on to your asses. Golden towers, velvet ropes, behind the mask, a vulture chokes, power suits and dirty hands, wag the dog in desert sands, victims screaming into voids while kings play gods with broken toys, airbrush laws on every screen. What the hell does justice mean? Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free, blood on the floor, hurt you've been changed. How many more gotta scream in vain? You built your throne on broken laws. Now you're scared, you know what you saw. Silence bought with piles of cash. Erase the files, burn the trash. Martial law for damage control. Draft the board to hide your soul. Wanna light the world on fire just to dodge the life trip wire. History is a loaded gun. Tick, 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 you better run. Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free. Blood on the floor, hurt truth in chains. How many more gotta scream in vain? Your kingdom shakes with every name. You'll kill us all to dodge the blame. This ain't conspiracy, it's confession. Hidden in plain sight for suppression. You laugh while the system bleeds, but the streets remember what you need. Truth, there's a cry. You just spare the time when the lights come my head. Your ass is mine. Locked room, VIP. No more secrets, no more canes. Dragged across your marble floor. Truth is kicking down your door. I said I'm young and believe the vow. Stars and stripes, I wear them now. Trained to fight and trained to lead. Wore the flag like it was all I need. I went to war, that was my goal. Buried brothers filling bullet holes. Did what I had to cause that was the cost. I came home proud but broken and lost. The other party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. They wrapped their lives in red, white, blue, but the blood on my hands was never for you. Republican dreams, conservative pride, just uniforms for the Green Day hide. Where were they when the V8 failed? When my friends came home and we all derailed? Where were they when we screamed in pain? Too busy chasing power and gain. Oh, the party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. You bring support, you wave your flags while you turn your backs on body bags. Don't turn your back on the fallen. You say that I betrayed you. I bled for this country. What did you ever do? You cheered for war. Then you ran from the wounded. I see who the traitors really are now! I gave my all, you gave me lies. Soldiers die while your empire thrives. Call me woke, call me lost. You never paid the fucking cost. And the party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. I fight again, not for your pride, but for every soul you left behind. The party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. Justice ain't red, justice ain't blue. It's the truth, and it's coming for you. Marching down the street with your MAGA flag, spitting serpent's lies while you're waving that rag, screaming freedom while you chain the weak. It makes me sick every time you speak. Beneath your cross, behind your screen, you sold your soul for a fascist dream. Keyboard warrior that don't know pain, a cultist clown whose leader's insane. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You fake your fate, now you choke on the dead. The party of law and order, but you storm the hill. You back the blue except when you're out to kill. You wave a gun in your neighbor's face. Fake ass patriot, you're a fucking disgrace. History watch while you took your stand. We saw what you did all across this land. American patriots don't kneel to a king. You're a fucking simp sucking that cinnamon ring. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. You traded your hood for a MAGA hat, the mark of the beast. You believe in that. You don't believe the words that you shout. You chant just to drown out the doubt. You were born to lose and you still started this game. The fire is coming and we are the flame. We're gonna tear it down, bury it 6 foot deep, and we'll never forget that you're a shame. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. 1, 2, truth is lost beneath a gilded name. A green parade as patriotic pride. The people's trust becomes a tarnished flame, extinguished where deception dares to stray. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Oh yeah! King Braves in 7876 so you can suck our collective dicks. A throne of lies built high on fear and spite. Commands with bluster, rage, and crude disdain. What once was offense wrong to serve the right. A conscience cries in vain beneath the strain. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Brains in 7876 so you can suck our collective dicks. No kids, this motherfucker must go. No kids, straight to jail. No kids, all we can show. No kids, him the gates of hell. He mocks the weak, the weary, and the poor, yet calls it strength to trample those below. The soul of service, darkened at its core. What seeds he sowed, we're reaping what we sow. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Brave since 7076 so you can suck our collective dick. And time will move on, and truth frequents its stage. No crown can outlast the people's rightful land. And time will move on, and truth reclaims its stage. No crown can outlast the people's rightful rage. Baldo people! One, two, three, 4, 26, 47. One, two. He wraps himself in red, white, blue, and lies. Next MTOs and louder bases boast. He stokes the fire of civil reason dies, and feeds the walls of mouthy loyal hoes. He plays the strong and blind as foreign ghosts. The sirens feast and tear freedom trust down. His throne is built on smoking shit posts. He sold his after by a gilded crown. He let
it's time for the throw punch! Oh boy. Gotta fix the settings again. There we go.
All settings good?
What's up, fam of Liberty and everyone else? First, before I begin, I would like to personally thank Jessica Dinson of Lights Out for hooking us up with Keira Havens and setting that up for us. Did I just completely butcher the pronunciation of your name?
No, you got it exactly correct.
Outstanding. All right. Great. For those of you that don't watch this live stream frequently, don't know who the fuck we are, I'm Big Sarge, also known as Admin Tim, and that right there is Admin Matt.
You know, I'm not arguing the comments.
Joining us tonight is Keira Havens of Citizens Impeachment. Keira, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. I am a veteran like yourselves. I'm U.S. Air Force. I was in Strategic Commands, 90th Space Wing. My job was to work nuclear missiles. That was what I did for 4 years. Since my time in the military, I've done a number of things in science. Recently became very involved in the political scene. As soon as we had our commander-in-chief take office this year for a second term, it became pretty clear that everybody was going to have to be all hands on deck to really step up and step in for democracy. Certainly the folks that are technically supposed to be our opposition wasn't going to do it. So it's got to be us, I guess.
Got to be us. All right. So you were in the Air Force and you got to hang around with nuclear missiles and stuff.
That was my
Did you
job.
get to go into like the big silo bunkers?
Yeah. Actually, that was exactly what I had to do. I had to spend a lot of time underground. I was a ICBM crew commander. My job was to launch the missiles if the order ever came. Most of my time was served while Bush was in office, and I actually left the missile world right, I think maybe the month, right as Obama was coming into office. So it felt like a time of a little bit of a reprieve. It felt like we had an adult in charge when I left, and things have steadily gone downhill since then, I think I could say.
For some reason, for some reason I've been getting a lot of like real estate ads. Like I get like Zillow goes wild in other places, and a bunch of other like abandoned Facebook pages and shit like that for abandoned spaces and whatnot. And there are a lot of missile silos that people are trying to sell off.
Mm-hmm.
A small part of me wants to like get one. Because
Not
I feel
a bad
like
thing to survive the end of the world, I won't lie.
Yeah, the way things are going.
It is getting a little crazy out there. There's helicopters are dropping agents into apartment buildings. People are getting shot in the street. It's getting ridiculous.
Well, I think maybe not a helpful thing to remember, but during the first Trump administration, we had unmarked vans cruising through,
That's true.
cities, and people got shoved into those vans. The writing was on the wall real early, in my opinion.
Yeah, it feels worse this time. It feels like there are no adults left in the room to tell him, "Oh, that's illegal," because the Supreme Court decided nothing he does is illegal. So he can finally shoot that person on Fifth Avenue without consequences, like he keeps loving to.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of his followers feel like they've got that immunity too.
There's certainly been a lot of emboldening. And I just have to say that the illegal nationalization and the deployment of the National Guard from one state into another state that doesn't want them there is a wild development, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Right.
I can only imagine if this was a deployment of troops from a blue state into a red state, how much the same people cheering this on would be going, "No, this is the worst thing ever." Like, you guys only like it now because your guy's in charge. No one should like this. No one should be okay with this.
Very bad. Yeah.
Stamos who were like, "I need my guns to protect me from government overreach and tyranny," and now they're like, "Oh God, yes. Oh,
Can we reach a little further, maybe?
Yeah.
Can we just stretch out a little bit more and see what else we can grab?
It's just such a cluster on every level, and everything we see, and every day is a new absolute miscarriage of justice in the Constitution. And I know for us, for staff, just keeping up with things,
Oh my goodness.
we're causing people, "Why aren't you guys talking about this? Are you guys trying to cover it?" No, there were 15 other terrible things today. I'm sorry we didn't get to number 17 on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've done is, as part of Citizens Impeachment, is we've attempted to wrap all of these egregious executive overreaches and breaches of constitutionality into sort of big overarching themes. We put out an impeachment article on tyranny, right? We went ahead and said this man is trying to collect power. They are trying to be a despot. They are interested in becoming king, and therefore we should impeach for tyranny, right? All of these actions fall under that umbrella. And we just constructed a second article of impeachment around treason, because the definition of treason per the Constitution is levying war against the United States. And if you are illegally federalizing the National Guard and taking the National Guard from one state and putting it into another state where they do not want it, that is pitting the states against one another, right? That is setting state against state, and that is becoming a threat to the union that is the United States. And we put out the article of impeachment for treason this morning. We sent it to people, and there have already been, I think, 2 more lawsuits, and another article from Texas with the stamp of approval from Governor Abbott for deploying the National Guard. And we weren't able to incorporate those into that specific instance. It's just happening so quickly.
Yeah.
And boy, we are going to have to run to keep up with this.
I know, and obviously we were just posting articles and memes and doing rant videos, but it's hard for us to even keep up with it. I can't imagine where you're actually filing paperwork and putting together forms and putting together, basically the brief of this plan of, here are the grounds, here's the things, here's what you got to reference to, which is, by the way, excellent work. I'm saying I can't imagine what it goes through each day, like you're saying, with things continuing to develop so frequently, given how much trouble we're having trouble keeping up with it. We could just go, "Oh, something happened. Oh, there's a meme for it." Oh, won't.
I really respect the quick draw response. I got to be honest. Sometimes it feels like all of these institutions just move way too slow to be able to keep up with the continuous breaches of constitutionality and these just egregious overstepping. What's really surprising to me is that it feels a lot like we are maybe the only people attempting to move that fast in the institutional world. A lot of the of course, the technical opposition party sort of refuses to do anything at all, right? I'm very glad that they found their spine for the shutdown in these 6 days. I mean, no funding for fascists, and heck, why not? Let's just go ahead and tie the Epstein file release back to the opening of the government, right? Don't open that up until those files get out there. That's fine by me.
Absolutely.
But not only is the formal political party not willing to take a stand and not willing to take action, but we have all of these really well-developed, large civilian political opposition parties that also seem unable to take the step of saying, like, well, I don't want a king, therefore I should impeach, right? It's not that big of a leap, but just saying, if I don't want a king, then I have to take action and say, no kings, you got to get out of office. That has been a really difficult bridge for us to get across.
I think there's a hesitancy on a lot of people, especially people who are actually in these systems, not just the politicians, but senior level bureaucrats, to expect the system to rebound and do its job. Because in fairness, it has always done that for all their careers. For as long as they've been there, the system, no matter how crazy something was, sprung into action and got us back on a more or less neutral path. And it's not going to happen this time. And I do think there's I don't know if it's a level of acceptance gap or it's a lack of imagination that some people are having a little trouble getting to terms with that, hey, wake up, you've got to do something.
Yeah.
But it's just so monstrous. It's so huge. It's so hard to comprehend the sheer scale of the tidal wave coming at us.
Well, and it's difficult even to name it correctly for a lot of people. I think there's still a lot of folks scared about using the F word, we're calling it fascism, being able to say, like, this is a consolidation of power for a far right-wing government. They are looking to not just like violate your civil liberties, but with the recent executive order, number 7, I'm afraid I'm forgetting the acronym, with let's surveil the anti-capitalists, right?
Yeah.
Let's surveil the folks that claim they are anti-fascist, because who could be that, right? This sort of very blatant establishment of fascism as a default and anti-fascism as bad. That should be a huge red flag to everybody.
And not just the fascism piece itself, but a true surveillance state. We had a story this afternoon that broke that ICE had bought up a number of these vans with fake cell phone towers so they could intercept cell phone signals directly. Well, they're just pulling in all the data and all the communications for every person who happens to be in that area. They don't have a warrant. They're not following any of our usual NSA guidelines for it. They're just doing it because they want to.
Yeah.
And you can believe that if we know about that, there's probably far more going on too.
With Citizens Impeachment, tell us about what you're doing, how you do it, and also give us the scoop on the impeachment articles.
Absolutely. So Citizens Impeachment takes advantage of the fact that the founders built a branch of government for us. They put together a branch of government that the people are supposed to be directly able to interact with and demand answers and accountability from, and that is Congress. And we know those levers have been broken for a really long time, but what we've done is said, hey, everywhere you are, everywhere across the nation, you have a say in this government. Sign up with us. We will give you personalized instructions to reach your rep, direct contact information, a script to talk through these issues, and not just say, hey, I want this to happen, but to engage with the staffer at a deeper level. So when you call into the offices, what the staffer wants is for you to go away and think, oh man, my representative is doing a good job. Yay, right? That's their goal. They want to get you off the phone and feeling good. And they will, do their best to say, I hear you. They will do their best to say, I will take a message and pass it on. But if you pause for 1 second and you say, I want Donald Trump to be impeached, and they respond with their spiel about why their rep is working super hard, and then you come back and you say, but are they working on impeachment? But are they actively pursuing impeachment? Are they a co-sponsor of one of the 3 impeachment articles that are already filed in the House? Are they filing their own articles? People get real uncomfortable because now all of a sudden you're asking them to take action and you're asking them to put themselves on the record. When there was the vote on the impeachment articles under Rule 9 at the end of July, that was a huge deal. We had been pushing for a vote to put people on the record since April. That tyranny article that I mentioned, that was picked up by one representative, by Representative Thanadar from Michigan 13. When we sent that article out to every single representative via constituent, right? We just went ahead and emailed their press office that article. We sent it to everybody. We did not expect it to be Democrat or Republican that picked it up. Every single one of these people took the same oath we did. Every single one of them is supposed to be supporting and defending the Constitution. Every single one of them has the opportunity to do that every day. I expect all of them to do that. And maybe that's unreasonable or idealistic, but it also makes it real uncomfortable for folks when you show up and you say, I know you took this oath. Do you actually plan on following through on it? Do you plan on supporting and defending the Constitution against a domestic enemy who is very clearly in office and very clearly doing unconstitutional things? So in April, when we began and we went ahead and put out this article on tyranny to all of the representatives, just one picked it up. And they picked it up because just one of their constituents had sent that article to them because they were ready to stand up. And this, again, is Representative Thanadar. Immediately, we had Axios and political articles coming out about how the Democrats thought Thanadar's attempt to uphold his oath was stupid and selfish. Someone called him a dipshit, and it all got published in national media because, and this has just been the most astonishing thing about this entire journey. The establishment does not want to do the right thing. The leadership does not want to do it. They really hate that Citizens Impeachment is bringing the citizens forward with a specific course of action that any one of them can accomplish at any time. There is no penalty for introducing articles of impeachment. You could just pick one unconstitutional thing a day and throw an article of impeachment into the mix. Just doing that would keep it in the news, and they refuse. So we have been pushing since April to get a vote on the floor. And at the end of June, we finally got a vote. And 79 representatives voted not to table this vote on impeachment, but to pursue it. And so that was a huge first step for us, just to get people to say, yes, we should actually do and impeach. We should actually pursue impeachment. We shouldn't table this. We shouldn't brush it under the rug. Now, we haven't had anybody able to champion this since. And we all know that the House has been shut down for quite a while. In this instance, we had the August recess. And during the August recess, our job was really just lining up the town halls with the citizens so that people knew where a town hall was that they could access. And this is another crazy thing. Those town halls, do you know how much time we would find them in advance? Do you know, like we would find them 5 hours in advance, 1 day in advance. Folks are setting up town halls, hoping nobody saw it or showed up, and then saying, oh, we definitely talked to our constituents, we were out there.
Mhm.
But there is not, there is really a concerted effort to avoid accountability and actual conversation with constituents. Because you know what, when we show up and we have things to say, we are not real stoked about the way things are going. Anyway, my message, that was a little bit rambling, but my message to constituents would be to, fulfill your oath. You signed up for this. This is a condition of the job. If you're not able to do it, please get out of the way. And for the citizens, I would say make it real uncomfortable. As I said, if you sign up with us, you get personalized information and scripts, and this is how you talk to folks, and these are the questions you ask. Really encourage everybody to do that. And especially for a veteran audience, we are one of the few remaining segments of our society that has a deep trustworthiness to the public. And what we say actually really matters. Speaking your mind on this and saying this is an unconstitutional regime, this is a consolidation of far-right power, this is authoritarianism heading quickly into fascism, and as you said, a surveillance state. Being able to make those statements in a credible way and to point to the documentation of it, whether it's our impeachment articles or someone else, we have the potential to change the whole conversation here. So that's what we're out doing. We're trying to give folks the tools to really step into their own voice and into their own advocacy, right, for democracy and for their community and for the nation. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but I mean that's what we all signed up to do when we first took the oath. And I mean that's what I'm still working on, and that's what a lot of folks that volunteer with us are still working on. We took that oath seriously.
And just to align one thing, the articles of impeachment that were brought up in the House before, what was the charge in that one?
Yeah, so there are three different versions that were brought up. The very first one that was filed by Representative Thanadar, that was 7 different articles to include the tyranny article that we had shared with all the representatives. And eventually that was withdrawn because there was some thinking at that point. The Sky Palace had just entered the scene, and there was thinking that, if we brought the Sky Palace in, if we brought the bribery component in, well, maybe it would be possible to bring Republicans on board in addition to Thanadar's own party, the Democrats there. And then there was another impeachment article filed by Al Green. And this had to do with the deployment of the Marines to LA, I believe. Let me actually just pull up those. Numbers so I'm not misciting
I think
myself.
This was the War Powers one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
That's the one that we spoke to.
Yep, that's where I was going to go with that.
About. Yeah.
Yep. And then the final one was when there was a unilateral, that was the unilateral military strike against Iran. There wasn't actually one filed for the deployment of the National Guard to LA, but that was your war power. That 537 was your War Power Act against Iran and the violation of that. So there are 3 resolutions currently on the floor of the House, and they are available for anyone who wants to co-sponsor them. That no one has bothered to co-sponsor them, that no one has bothered to submit their own articles of impeachment, that folks pretty consistently say, well, I would if we had the votes. That there are a lot of people. That's our next job, is to count up how many people are saying I would if we have the votes, because I suspect we would have a much bigger proportion of folks participating.
I would if we had the votes. Well, that's one. That other guy over there saying I would if we had the votes. That's 2. Oh my God, we're on a fucking roll here. Where can we go with this?
Mm-hmm.
When we
amazing
had,
what could happen if someone had courage.
When we had Rep Ro Khanna on, it was just after the vote for the second set of impeachment that Representative Green put forward, and he had voted against it. So we, of course, got a chance to ask him why, and he said that he thought war powers was the wrong way to go after it. He thought that there's been enough of a history with presidents making some questionable borderline things. It felt like it's hard to enforce on that rule when previous presidents have taken their liberties with it. But he did indicate he's open to supporting impeachment on other grounds.
That's fine.
Your organization had a chance to reach out to him, or?
He has not responded to any of our requests, and I talked to everybody. So he has said nothing to me. And this is a big pattern. It's not just Ro Khanna, and you know what? Good work on him for working with Massey to get to force the issue on the Epstein files. That's
agreed.
Fantastic. But when I say there's no penalty for pursuing impeachment, there is not a penalty for pursuing impeachment. If Ro Khanna wants to pursue impeachment on other grounds, he can put his own articles in. He can do whatever he wants as one of the most powerful people in the entire world to say this administration is unconstitutional and unfit and must be removed. There is nothing stopping him. At any point in time, the Democrats could just round robin it. Everybody could be like, Rule 9, we are going to impeach the guy for this thing, item X. And then the next day, a different one could say, well, I want to do it for item Y. And you could do this forever, because at this point in time, there are like 1,000+ undemocratic actions that have been cataloged by a researcher in England. They don't even have a dog in that particular fight. But we play, at least in the explanations we give about why we're not taking action, there is a lot of like 8-dimensional chess happening here. It is not that complicated. This person is doing unconstitutional things. They are unfit to be president. Therefore, if you have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you need to be taking action to remove this person and their administration from office. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
They can do more, and they're choosing not to.
Something that you said earlier that I wanted to circle back to. I can't remember the specific verbiage, but basically you said veterans are one of the last segments of the population that have trustworthiness with the public. That hurts. Like that, I felt that deep down in my soul, and it really resonates with me because obviously you and I are both veterans, so we have like it's going to affect us a little more, but like that's where we are right now. Like that's we can't trust the fourth estate. They've basically capitulated, bent the knee. They're giving in. We can't rely on politicians. There are so many of them that are like, oh, I'm going to talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, let me just coast along. And then you have people like Representative Al Green out there doing the damn thing, walking in the streets with protesters. Where the fuck is everybody else? Why is it coming down to the veterans to be like, I put up these unhinged rant videos where I'm like, I'm going to make a penis joke, and then I'm going to talk about fat people, even though I'm a big boy, and I'm going to say a couple of things about politics, and then I'm going to try to sell a shirt to somebody. And people are like, this really resonates with me. Like, why does it have to be us? Can we just, go take some Motrin for our bad knees and bad backs, bad ankles, and somebody else who's actually trained and educated and like gets on the job training for politics, let them do this. I want to fucking relax. Fuck.
I wish more than anything that the system actually worked the way it was advertised to me. But this most recent impeachment article, I mean, I wrote that. I'm a scientist, right? Like plants are what I really like to do. I would love to just study flowers all day forever. I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep track of 1,000 undemocratic actions. I don't want to think about how the nation that I put on a uniform to serve, that I gave time to, and I didn't even give that much time. I gave 4 years, right? But I did give that, and now it is once again up to the front line to be able to recognize that this is very bad, that this is actually a strategic failure of our institutions. And I really do believe that, those of us that did actually take the oath seriously when we signed, that those of us that didn't just say some words to like get on with it and get moving, that we believed in, service before self and integrity first and excellence in all we do, for the Air Force at least, right? This is how I still carry that forward. And it's because we have that level of integrity as veterans, even though it's deeply complicated, that I think we are able to do that, right? Like just for our own personal interests, like we've watched politicians betray veterans over and over and over again. We've watched them, take away healthcare and remove supports for us and ask us to do more and more with less and less. Like we have become tokens and pawns and, just shouting out in the wilderness for a really long time on a variety of issues and not being heard. And so maybe it's where we're just used to the system failing us, and so we can see it sooner. I don't know, but I do know that some of the people most passionate about pursuing this and about saying very clearly and plainly that this is a problem that needs to be dealt with now are veterans. Not everyone in Citizens Impeachment is a veteran, but some of the core leadership are. Not all of the citizens that have signed up with us are veterans, but some of the folks that are most passionate and are carrying this forward are. We're actually focused specifically on veterans for this month leading up to Veterans Day. We have a Remember Your Oath program, and part of that program is inviting not just individuals that understand the need for this, but the organizations those individuals belong to step up and say, we're going to join this coalition of groups calling for impeachment. At some point, you have to move past the individual actions into organization level endorsement of the needed action, right? You need to be able to say, as a member of Sons of Liberty who has X 100,000 subscribers, right? We say with one voice, President Trump is not fit to be president and he needs to be impeached. And Congress, we expect you to do that. And when we start moving forward with those organizational endorsements where it's not just on me or on you, and we're not all acting independently, I feel like that's when we really start to build power and we're really able to move forward.
So if people are curious about if their representative is on board with supporting this action or still needs to be convinced, do you guys keep a running tally on your site? Or
Yep, we have a tracker. There's a tracker for the House. And right now that tracker stands at 80 people for impeachment. Those are all the folks that voted not to table the last motion that came to a vote. And 380 plus that are against impeachment, who are the people that voted to table that approach. We also have a tracker for the Senate, although we haven't done as much Senate work yet. We're pretty low on bandwidth. So the House is where impeachment starts, and that's where we focus. But one of the wild things about the Senate is we didn't even ask them to endorse impeachment necessarily. We just asked if they believe President Trump had committed unconstitutional acts, and not a single senator responded to us. So there's like a very deliberate, very concerted effort to ignore the citizens when they ask the hard questions. So we appreciate any and everybody who is willing to join us in asking those questions.
I want to address this comment right here real fast. And it's from a comment from YouTube. For those of you that are not watching this, we're tag teaming on Political Drain in our Facebook page, I think. Oh, on that note, before I forget, you may have noticed that admin Doug has been scarce. I'm not at liberty to talk about his circumstances, but I do wish him the best. Our staff has been in touch with him. He could talk about it himself. Doug, if you're watching, we got your back, buddy. On that note, the comment is, what can a person who is unable to serve do for veterans? And the answer is, show the fuck up. Be present. Be civic-minded. Get engaged with your community. And harass the ever-loving shit out of your politicians. You have 2 senators who go up to D.C., who have offices in your state and in D.C. You have 1 House rep who has offices around your area and also in D.C. But you also have state senators and you have state reps. You have county officials. You have local officials. You have all of those officials. And it doesn't have to be talking to them about veterans. You want to help veterans? Get rid of this fucking government that's dismantling the VA, that's criminalizing dissent, that's making a mockery of everything that the United States fought for, that soldiers and civilians have given their lives, whether at home or abroad. victims who've had their lives taken from them, like the people on the flight that plowed into the ground in Pennsylvania, civilians. They fought back because they weren't going to let shit happen the way that they'd already heard that it was going to happen. You don't have to talk about veteran shit to support veterans. You want to support veterans? Get this government out of office. You got Democrat politicians that aren't doing shit. Primary them. Challenge them. Let it be known. Call them up. Be like, hey, guess what? I'm running for office against you because you're a piece of shit who's not doing anything. You got Republicans in office? Run as a fucking Republican. They've already got pedophiles and rapists and criminals, felons. There's a felon in the Oval Office. I could run as a Republican. Granted, because I'm on social media being like, fuck Donald Trump. They'd be just like, this guy's fake. But you, average John Q citizen who doesn't make rant videos, you could run as a Republican. It would be hilarious. Wear a Sons of Liberty shirt on your campaign. That's what you do. Harass your politicians.
Let me
Look at
add
their offices and call them.
Yeah, let me just add a little bit more here. I know it's overwhelming, and I know sometimes it feels like, well, who am I? I'm just some guy that does some stuff, right? Your personal experience, your real lived authentic experience in your community, knowing where those flashpoints are, where that pothole hasn't been filled, where that superintendent has been screwing over the teachers, where the gaps are in your community, that is actually what makes your story powerful. And that is actually what we need to hear more of in the papers, and that your representatives need to hear more of. And that's one of the things that Citizens Impeachment wants to be able to do. We have citizen action guides to help you write a letter to the editor. We have an op-ed training guide that can help you write that op-ed. We have how to call. We have how to ask for a meeting with your representative or senator. And folks, this is a promise that the organization has made. If y'all set up a meeting with your elected representative, Citizens Impeachment will show up with you. We will help you prep for the conversation about impeachment. We have talking points. We have quotes from your district, right? That's one of the powers of having a district-based activist community. We have people that say, I want to see this person impeached because, and sometimes it's a veteran reason. Sometimes veterans saying, I still uphold my oath of office. Sometimes it's someone that says, I want my granddaughter to have, freedoms that I enjoyed growing up. But we have these personalized, specific, targeted statements that we can bring to the incumbent if you have that meeting with them, to a candidate. If somebody is already running and you want to meet with them and get this on their platform, I will show up in the Zoom call. Like, I am not physically in all your districts, but if you set it up so that I can attend via remotely, I will do that, me personally. And if it's not me, it will be someone else in the leadership. The whole point of this organization is to end up with a functioning government again that has to listen to its citizens. And so we are happy to do that. Whatever it takes to reconnect those bridges, we are happy to do that. Our thing is impeachment, because we think first and foremost we need to get this person out of office, because nothing stops till he's gone. But let us help you connect with folks and learn how to demand change.
And if people need that information, they can go to your site, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely. Citizensimpeachment.com. That is where we are. It's under Get Involved. Citizen Action Guides is going to have most of those materials I just talked about. If you're going to be participating in the October 18th protests, we also have protest signs that you can use under printable materials. If you just want to get in touch with us, you can just send me an email, man. My email is Keira, Keira, at citizensimpeachment.com. We will figure out how to connect you with the materials that you need.
I just want to keep emphasizing, folks, that this is the website we have up on the screen. I don't want to be hearing about, I couldn't find the site, couldn't figure it out. Like, had it up for almost the entire live stream, guys.
Thank you.
It's in the video description as well.
It's in the video description as well.
So people basically just go to citizensimpeachment.com, and there are calls to action. There are little buttons that they can push to sign up for things. So obviously they're going to enter at least a name and an email address.
Mhm.
What happens then? Like, can you walk us through the process a little bit of what it's like for the average person to just sign up and
Yeah.
then get mobilized?
Absolutely. So when you sign up, that information comes to our citizen liaison team. If you know what your district is, then we go ahead and send you immediately a welcome email that says, looks like your representative is so-and-so and you're in District X. Let us know if this is wrong. So first thing we want to do is make sure we have the right set of information, because when we have calls to action, we want to make sure that the right people are being targeted there, right? So if you are in a Republican district and we want to target all Democrats, we don't want to waste your time with calls to action that aren't actually relevant to you. Sometimes they can get really specific, where we find out one specific representative has been a real hypocrite and we want to have people call on this specific topic. And so it's really important that we get that information right. And then we have a series, it's about a 2-week series of emails where we kind of walk you through the process. Here are some tools that we have. Here's how you can advocate for impeachment on your own. Here's what you can do to share this with friends. To kind of just sort of plug you in and get you used to seeing the Citizens Impeachment emails. And then after that, what we do is we push the national conversation towards impeachment in whatever way we can. And generally that involves publicity work. We draft those op-eds, we publish articles discussing impeachment or the lack thereof, or the cowardice of representatives unable to follow through with their oaths of office. We ask you to call in and follow very specific scripts where we push for an actual answer about actual action, instead of just hearing, oh, they're working so hard. Well, how? Tell me, how are you working so hard? What things have you done? What articles have you co-sponsored? And the answer so far has been almost universally zero. But what we can do with that specific information is that we can then turn it around and give it to your local newspapers, because they want to know how these wheels are turning, right? So you call the office, you get a response from a staffer, you tell us about it. We call their press person and we say, is this right? Can you confirm this? Yes or no? And just using our most recent call to action, we had 2 very interesting responses. One was a wholehearted, yes, this is treason, deploying illegally federalizing the National Guard and deploying it to states where it's not wanted. Treason, let's impeach him. And we've sent a request out to confirm it, because I want that person to say it publicly, and I want to put that in the paper so that their constituents know that here is someone who is actually going to follow their oath. The other one, oh boy, a constituent called and said, do you believe that illegally federalizing the National Guard and deploying it to states where it's not wanted is levying war against the United States and treason? And the response was, well, if impeachment articles came across their desk, they'd sign them. But they're really focused on making sure that the ACA subsidies stay in place. And when we went to go confirm that their priority was the ACA subsidies instead of the fascism, they directed us to a statement which makes no mention of impeachment at all. So this is the type of circular sort of distraction that will happen. And it is really like a full-time job to sit down and say, like, no, I asked a specific question. What are you doing about impeachment? Is the answer nothing? If so, say that. Own it. Own that you are not doing anything, because they rely on assumptions that, oh, this means that they are going to go ahead and impeach. And those assumptions are false unless they have actually taken a stand. You cannot count them as a yes. Getting these people to move on a mark, getting them to actually take a stand is a huge accomplishment. And I cannot stress that enough. The only time they move and they feel compelled to make a decision is when we call and continue to call and have a united, hard ask, yes or no. Will you do this? Where do you stand? We're not used to, I wasn't used to doing it when I started this. it takes a while to be that pointed and to be that unrelenting about getting the information that you need. So that's why we try and write everything down in guides for folks and really make it a process that everybody can understand. We get real detailed.
I just went to the site. I looked up my rep and found that she is an against. So I've got my marching orders cut out for me.
Thank you very much for following through.
Madeline Dean. That's gonna be interesting. I mean, she was part of the impeachment last time. Now she's against.
And so against in this case means she voted to table it, just like Ro Khanna did, right? She voted to table the move to tackle impeachment. And this is another very labyrinthine. All of this stuff is labyrinthine, right? It's not as simple as a single vote. What happened in that case was Rule 9 was invoked. So things that only the House can do, the House can say, I'm going to skip all the rules and bring it to the floor using Rule 9. And then the leadership has 48 hours to schedule a vote on whatever thing comes in under Rule 9. In the case of this impeachment vote, they mobilized real quick. In about 2 hours, they had scheduled a vote, not on the item itself, but on whether or not to kick that item down the road, or whether or not to table that item. So rather than vote on the impeachment articles, they voted on whether or not to vote on the impeachment articles. Counts as the same thing under the rules. So when in that circumstance, right, if you called in and said, vote yes, that was going to have them table the impeachment vote. And if you called in and asked them to vote no, that would have them pursue the impeachment vote. So it gets real confusing real fast. We try and use language that doesn't get flip-flopped like that very often, where we just say support moving impeachment forward, support pushing, support the vote on impeachment, bring impeachment to a vote, rather than saying vote yes here or vote no there, because it does get very confusing very quickly. And I would be really, really curious to hear what Madeline Dean says if you call her office and you say, hey, you were part of the last impeachment effort. Why did you vote to table on the last one? Have you sponsored any of these 3 impeachment articles that are already on the table? Why not? They'll have reasons. They won't be good ones, but they'll have them. And that is what we can use to start to leverage the conversation.
Her staff sure seem to know my number when they're doing their fundraising, but we'll see if that exchange goes both ways or not. So
yeah, absolutely.
We got a couple of questions from the comment sections. Before I do, I want to acknowledge my Scottish kinsman across the pond, Alba Gabrath. For those of you that don't speak Gaelic, I mean, it's Scotland forever. Let's see. Question: OPSEC is an issue. Are such concerns considered? I don't have to explain OPSEC to you. You know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be a Proton email, but I think what they're asking is more along the lines of how is their sensitive information protected, like who they are, their contact information.
Yeah. So folks, we don't ask for money. Like we have a donation link if you want to drop some cash in there so we can run the servers, but we're not doing any fundraising. And quite frankly, you don't need to tell me what your real name is. As long as you get your rep right, I will just send the email to whatever address you give me under whatever name you give me. It doesn't matter. We just need to know what district you are in so that we can give you the correct information to reach out to your rep. Where that information goes, it goes into an email client called Email Octopus. It's not owned by Intuit, which is a shady company that lobbies the Hill every year to keep our tax code complicated. So we tried to avoid that connection. And we work out of a Google Suite, which is not the best, I know, but it is what we have to manage this information and draft our letters and kind of streamline the approach. For us, the important information is how many folks do we have per district, and how well do those folks mobilize. When we send out an email that says call your rep on this day, the way we track that is we just ask you to click a button in the email. And if you click that button, that means you counted, that means you did the thing that we asked you, and that means that we know we can count on you to take that action again, ideally, right? In a perfect world, what we would end up with is the capacity to do maybe 2 or 3 very targeted and focused actions each year, not even each month, folks. Like we can move the whole world with like one. So in April, when we started this, we kicked this whole thing off with 600 people that followed instructions to the letter and sent those emails at the exact same time, because what terrifies the Hill is coordination. What terrifies the Hill is execution, very clear, unambiguous execution that they cannot avoid by kind of hand waving or distracting or explaining away. Right? If we show up and we say we want answers now in this context, in this format to this question, real unnerving for people that are used to having the upper hand in conversations. So that's where the information goes. It just stays with us. We don't sell it to anybody. We don't do anything with it except send information to you about how to talk to your rep about impeachment.
Next question. Are there ways specific to visually impaired individuals to help via phone, etc., rather than email?
Oh yeah. So most of the emails we send have both options. You can call or you can send an email. Calling is in many ways better because you can waste their time. And I know this sounds real cynical, but if you call in and you refuse to get off the phone and you just keep an even tone, just like we're talking with right now, and even be a little bit confused, just say, well, I just don't understand, right? Explain to me, explain to me why it is that you are not taking any action here, right? Like, explain in small words. I don't get it. The longer they are on the phone with you, the less work that they can do, the less appeasement they can take care of. So if you sit down with 10 of your friends and you all just call and like have a competition, keep that staffer on the phone for as long as possible, winner gets a pizza, right? You can eat up a lot of time in the day and it gets real irritating real fast. And I hate to say it, but right now, being more obnoxious than all of their other going concerns is the name of the game. That is what will actually get us noticed. That is what will get the requests heard and recognized and listened to, because again, these folks want you out of their way so they can continue not doing anything. I encourage you to make those phone calls and to get other people around you to make the phone calls too. Sustained engagement and at small levels, sustained small pockets of engagement, way better than one massive thing that they can all ignore. I mean, like, if I could do anything at all, what I would do is I would just get a giant spreadsheet and I would have 15-minute slots, and everybody signs up for a 15-minute slot where they call, and we would just fill up every single office, every single minute, every single hour with somebody talking about impeachment. It would take a lot of people. It would take a lot of coordination, but I guarantee you they would notice us and they would have to do something about it.
Last one that I pulled out of the comments. Have you reached out to Jon Stewart or any of the other comedians, I'm presuming like big name people, to get the word out?
Yeah, so Stewart and Oliver don't take requests, unfortunately. I am all for anybody that likes what we do. Just throw our name out there. I will meet with anyone. I will talk with anybody. I am happy to have both the serious conversation and the ridiculous conversation, because it is so dumb out there. Like, plenty of comedy inherent in this. But yeah, we have really struggled even to get just boring coverage of these people are doing this thing in this way and they're bringing citizens together to make it happen. That is far less interesting than an Access journalism piece leaked to the media about how this one rogue Democrat is putting out an impeachment challenge and defying leadership. That's not actually what's happening. Nobody has actually run the real story, which is that the citizens are demanding the removal of this president. This citizen is demanding it. The 6,000 people on a mailing list are demanding it. Instead, the narrative that keeps getting published is, oh, these crazy activists doing this crazy thing that has no connection to reality and is completely unhinged. That's the story that the establishment wants to run, and that's the story that the establishment continues to run and will continue to run if we're able to bring this to a vote again. I would love to speak with anybody that is willing to to say directly to power, you are not doing enough. I will say that with them. We need more people to say that in more ways.
I got one more. I gotta scroll up a second. So when you were talking about having people where you had like 15-minute blocks where people, everybody was calling everybody, I guess somebody picked up on that. Is there a way to set the back-to-back rep phone calls up like a phone bank? Like how feasible would it be to actually get volunteers who are actually going to call their rep all? So we got what is it, 533? We got the 100 senators and then the 400 and some odd House reps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, let's just do the House right now, right? 435 House reps. Every rep is going to have at least a couple offices, let's say 5 of them to make the math easier. So that's 2,000 right there. You got 5 days a week. So that's 10,000. And then we have how many blacks? 30 some. So we need about 40,000 people to do that if everybody just took one shift, right, and decided to call just in one 15-minute block. I don't have that many people yet, but I tell you what, Erin, if you want to help me find that many people and you want to help me organize this, you can just sign up there with the Join Us and just mark down that you're interested in volunteering. I think that could be extremely effective if we were able to build that type of people power. Right now, we don't have it, but we could.
Imagine that happening from the time they get to the office to the time they leave the office, just Monday through Friday, 1 week, one work week. They would be so annoyed.
I like the idea. Let's do it.
So one question I have, and I might, high school civics is several decades. I'm not going to see how many in the past. I seem to remember that impeachment for treason requires removal of all of the president's officers and officials. Am I remembering that wrong?
So the wording in the Constitution is that the president, the vice president, and all the civil officers may be impeached for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. That's Article 2, Section 4, and then Article 3, Section 3, Clause 2 outlines what treason is, and that is. So I have read that to mean that any of those positions may be impeached, but I do believe that we have to name them all in the impeachment articles. The most recent impeachment article that we created on treason names both Hegseth and Trump, just for the obvious reason that Hegseth is, of course, in charge of the Department of Defense at this point in time. So my understanding is that we do have to name all of them, but I am open to correction. If somebody has a better source and a better...
Some may know better than I, that's for sure. Like I said,
yeah,
it's been a minute.
Hit me up. Let me know.
Because, I mean, the big argument that we'll hear on posting is like, oh, well, then you get J.D. Vance instead. And one, who knows what kind of, who knows how big of a problem he is. But
J.D. Vance has more juice than Trump. Come on.
Exactly.
That man's got no juice.
The idea that he can run the cult, I mean, they make fun of him. They make fun of him almost as much as we do.
Exactly. Folks, I apologize. I got to plug in my laptop real quick. Just give me one second.
Not a problem.
And now for our commercial break.
Snickers
really satisfies you.
Oh, thank God it's not the fucking kazoo again. Oh, I had to say something, didn't I? That's the next album. That's the next album right there. Just it's 12 tracks of Big Sarge playing fucking kazoo, screaming into the mic.
I'll be like Kenny G.
This is why we're not monetized, folks. This bullshit right here. This is exactly why YouTube does not allow us to make money.
Oh, boy.
God, awful. So while we're waiting, maybe you can tell us who's going to be coming up later on.
Yeah. I reached out to Janet for that because I've only got the next like 3. So Tuesday, October 14th at 7 p.m., we have David Clayton of North Carolina District 5. And then the day after that, Wednesday the 15th at 4 p.m., we have returning guest Kat Abu-Ghazaleh.
Oh, awesome.
And then Tuesday the 21st, we've got Chris Volpe, an Ohio Senate candidate. And I think there's some more people, but I haven't been updated. And if I have been updated, then I'm an idiot and don't know where it is. So that's
Also,
Okay.
we got coming up.
me on Discord. We've got a thing to talk about. I think you'll like that. But those
What
are
now?
upcoming shows that we know about. That Big
Kat
Sarge
is a great
remember.
example of a challenger. When she first entered the race, we asked like, why are you not endorsing impeachment? Why aren't you talking about it? And she just hadn't thought about it. It wasn't on the platform. And after some conversations, she eventually said, "Well, yeah, obviously, of course, right?" But I mean, I really think the upcoming campaign season is going to be all about. That's going to be the distinction, right? The incumbent that refuses to do anything, or the challenger that's willing to uphold their oath. That's the conversation we're going to have over and over again.
Now, I haven't tracked the off-season elections quite as close as I probably should have. Do we have, pardon me, do we have rep seats up in November? Because are they half-term ones that are in filling empty seats or something that are coming up here?
Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about the elections that are happening this year. I know them mostly in the context of the Epstein files. I think you guys are probably aware that there's a discharge petition that currently needs to be signed, right? They came out a couple of weeks ago and said just straight up that no other Republicans were going to sign this. They're going to expect to get the additional signatures from newly elected Democrats because we had 3 Democrats die in office at the beginning of this year, right? And so 2 of those have already been elected, and the third will go to will have their election in November of this year, and that's also likely to be a Democratic pickup for a seat. But I'm really talking about 2026. I'm talking about when everybody comes up for re-election.
Right.
There are people who are stepping down from office, but there are also just there's a lot of frustration with incumbents, and people are picking up on it. And there are a lot of races where folks are going to have a bigger fight than they expect, I think.
We're also tracking the generic ballot shift right now is leaning wildly away from the GOP. Some districts are saying 20 points, others are saying 22 points. And that's now obviously once you put names behind it, those numbers will move around a bit. But to start from a big advantage like that to just the generic or really, honestly, it's any party coming in that is not GOP is a massive potential advantage. And I do think that short of them, declaring martial law and calling off elections, that they're probably going to lose the House. I don't think we can do anything about the Senate, but they're probably going to lose the House.
I mean,
obviously, you don't knock on wood, but
yeah, I hope so. But also, folks, these folks, the opposition party is not doing a lot of opposing right now. One of the things that I'm deeply worried about is that there will be an effort to sort of crush new people who maybe don't have the experience with the system, to crush them into conformity, when really what we need is like bold, unapologetic action. And our hypothesis right now is that if we start early and we start making the campaigns all about, will you uphold your oath of office, yes or no, and we start hammering that into people right from the start as they are running for office, maybe that will make it more difficult for them to backtrack on that and to bend and to kind of sit on their hands when action needs to be taken. But boy, I can't think of a worse scenario than having, a crop of Democrats come in and have still nothing happen and just kind of wait for the next round of the fascists to show up. That would be awful.
So in that same vein, do you intend to put forth a list of Dems to be targeted for primary, or those who might be more susceptible to just pressure, or a action list for us to be building out and supporting, so that we know who we want to be getting on here, other shows to try to advance that, new wave within the party itself?
Definitely. This is something that we're just starting up. So really our first big district-wide research effort was for town halls in August, where we recorded as many town halls as possible and brought them out to folks. We are shifting gears now to focus on candidates. As I said previously, we have an information kit on impeachment. We have suggested language for how to incorporate it into your platform. We have quotes from your constituents that are, pro-impeachment. This is why I need you to take this action. This is why this is important for defending democracy. So our outreach to primary candidates, and then of course eventually the people in the final race, is going to start probably in November, and we're going to continue that through the next year. So the goal would be to have a list of candidates that support impeachment, or have agreed to uphold their oath by supporting impeachment, since that's really where our focus is. There's a lot of issues, but for us, this one's at the very top right now.
Excellent. It's great to hear, because it really gives us a structure to go forward with too.
Yeah, really trying to do that. It's not enough just to rant, and boy, is there a lot to rant about. But someone once said, being right is not a strategy. And so you've got to have some strategy behind it for sure.
Yeah.
This guy missed me giving Jessica Denson a shout out. Jessica, who has been on our shows. Yeah. Jessica Denson has been on our stream, I think 3 times, if definitely 2, possibly a 3rd. And I've been on her stream twice.
I think I missed every single one of them.
Welcome to the Sons of Liberty, sir. You're welcome for our cervix. All right. Sorry. A little bit of snark, but not sorry.
He's not. So where were we before?
Gives me the dick again.
Where were we before Big Sarge went off on his messaging issue?
Oh, strategy. Need strategy.
Yes.
To execute. Yep.
So we've got some folks that will support, some folks that probably need to be shown retirement, and some folks that maybe we can persuade with our own outreach and people calling them, and just making sure that they know that this is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't support impeachment? I'm thinking of a word, and that word rhymes with primary.
So beyond those pieces of the strategy, what else can we be doing?
Yeah, this is a really great question. I think Sarge really got to it earlier, getting to know your community, investing in your community, meeting people early on. I will say, if you are in a community, in a district where there is a primary race, and there are candidates that are going for that seat, one of the best things you can do, and now is the perfect time, one of the best things you can do is go to them and say, hey, can I sit down with you? Figure out if they're for real or not. We get a lot of people that want to run for a lot of reasons, right? But if you sit down with these folks and they are no shit trying to uphold, do the right thing, run for office, change something for the better, will uphold their oath of office and pursue impeachment if they're elected, I would start working with them right now. I would start making phone calls for them. I would start showing up for 5 hours a week if you can. At right now, when it's super early, they have nothing. And just one person showing up and being consistent, or, $100 that can buy 5 hours of somebody's time or something like that. That's what starts the ball rolling to get money and to get more name recognition and to become a real deal, right? If you can call up a journalist and say, hey, this guy is doing this thing here, that's somehow more effective, more legitimate than the actual guy calling up and saying, hey, I'm doing this thing, right? Less self-interested. And I know that's a huge ask. I know that's a really big, it can feel like a really big thing to do, especially if you haven't volunteered for campaigns before, or if you've, spent 20 years supporting the person that's in office. That sucks to have to change horses like that. But what we need to do right now is to make it a challenge, because if their primary challenger stands up and says, I'm for impeachment, the incumbent is not, and that's why you should vote for me, I guarantee you that's going to have more impact to change the incumbent's actions than anything, I personally say on the internet or something like that, right? We gotta make it, we have to make impeachment a real and personal thing to them. Right now, they're able to ignore it.
So we've talked about attacking from the representative end and what we can do for calling in. What about on the money end with donors, some of the bigger people who come into these things, some of the more high profile ones? What are we doing on that side?
As far as fundraising for candidates goes, or for operations like activist operations, or
for both?
Yeah. So this, if you are able to give now to candidates that have just begun their race, that money goes way further than if you give it to an incumbent, or if you wait until the last minute. That's just the simple truth. If they can hire somebody for 2 weeks and that somebody can pay for themselves for the next 2 weeks, well, now all of a sudden they have a month of work that they can put together. So small races, local races, if you're looking for places to put your own money, that's what I would do. I would be real careful about sending money out to activist groups that are calling for a lot of noise and not a lot of action. And right now, unfortunately, I would put Indivisible and 5051 in those camps. The No Kings protests, the October 18th protests, this is great. I'm glad we're getting out in the street, but they don't have like a cogent, coherent point. We just keep showing up and there's not like a next step. So I would really be very thoughtful about where that money goes, rather than sending it out to the national level. Look for people in your local organizations that you can bring it to, who you can not just share financial resources with, but maybe network resources. Maybe you can introduce them to people. Maybe you can connect them to somebody who can connect them to their next paycheck or their next volunteer. Right? Think about it in terms of building that community. On the much larger scale, when we start to talk about the political system, like as a whole, I think it's for me anyway, right? I will always be outgunned when it comes to money, right? I am not a big name donor, right? But when you look at what someone like Mandani did in New York City, that guy constructed a huge, really focused ground game where they didn't go to the usual suspects, right? They organized and they found people that had never voted before, and they mobilized those people in their community, people that were feeling disaffected, people that did not have access to the political system, folks that didn't think that their vote was going to make a difference, right? And they showed up to those people, not to a mythical swing voter that voted for, Obama and then Trump and then Biden, right? Like not somebody who's going back and forth, but just somebody who has never been able to engage with the political system in a meaningful way. And those are the people that they turned out. So, if you are crazy rich and you want to hand people money, come talk to me. I can use it. That's great, right? But the time and the resources and the network and the community, those are the things that are actually going to make the difference going forward, because those are the things they can't buy. They can buy everything else,
Mm-hmm. Apologies. The dog just woke up from his nap and needed to bark and come over and see what was going on. Check it all out. Make sure everything
Very
was
nice.
as he expected.
Mm-hmm.
So apologies for the background noise there.
Oh, good.
And he's there's a fly in the room. He's hunting it. So I'll just let nature sort itself out back there. Again, apologies for the noise, folks. Try to keep it somewhat professional, but Ram.
We're doing great. All good.
Professional? What?
I know.
How long you've known me for like 10 years?
It's true. It's true. And I still willingly come on here.
Yeah, exactly. What does that say about you, sir?
It says I have very low standards.
I'm super curious for you guys. Like, what? 10 years you've been doing this? Like, where? What are
I've
you
known
excited
for 10
about?
years.
Oh, okay. Maybe this is a newer program, but
I started this in what? 2015, 2016, somewhere in there.
It was like a day or two after Donald Trump rolled his little gold spray painted escalator down to announce his candidacy in 2015, I think. But
Yeah.
I started it as a Facebook page. And the reason that I started it as a Facebook page is because at the time I was very heavily involved in the Atlanta indie film scene. And I had a lot of actors and cast and crew from various actual big like mainstream projects that were looking to do indie films. So because of the wide range of political beliefs, and plus it wasn't really that serious back then as it is now, I was like, well, let me move all of my political rants. I'm in like big, fat, juicy posts. I just created a page. And I'm like, I'm gonna put it up there, and I called it Sons of Liberty because the amount of people that I served with who immediately were like, yeah, I'm a nationalist too. Donald Trump's gonna make America great again, and all you pussy liberals that are traitors, you can't be an American and love your country. If you're a liberal, you can't be a liberal and be a Christian, blah, blah, blah. All those people that I had fought alongside, worn uniforms, gone to PT formation, like driven them home because they've been drinking too much, shit like that. They're suddenly like, well, you're not a real patriot. And I'm like, I'm the one with the page called Sons of Liberty, motherfucker. Let's see what we got now. So that's how it started. And then it kind of grew from there. And I guess we had like YouTube and Instagram, but it wasn't really being followed that much. And then like one day, somebody was like, oh, you should make a truck rant video. Make it like those mega truck rant videos, but like, and call it something like Angry Veteran Rants about something. But then as soon as they watch it, you're like, and I'm a liberal, so let me tell you some shit else. And so I was like, okay, I could probably do that. So I sat down and I thought about it. And I wrote down a bunch of thoughts, got a dry erase board, put thoughts down. And I was like, this is going to be seen by like 200 people on YouTube. And that's if we push it out like every day. And as soon as I submitted that shit, within like an hour, and I had other videos that I put on this channel consistently over the past like couple of years prior to that, and they got like 10 views. But this one, for some reason, it blew up, and people were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And we went to like 25,000 subscribers in a day, and then the next day it was like 40,000, and people were like, "You got to do more of these." So I started doing more of them, these truck rant videos. And this was right around the time that Tim Walz was in the news cycle for the whole stolen valor thing. So I was like, all right, I was in the Army. I know exactly what happened here with this frocked duty position nonsense. So I explained it on video, and I wrote like Angry Veteran Rants about Tim Walz stolen valor, like part 1 and part 2.
That's so smart. Oh man.
Oh my God. Like it got like, between TikTok and YouTube alone, it had over 1 million views.
Would you do Angry Veteran Rants about treason and just read the impeachment articles? Angry Veteran Rants about tyranny, take them, run with them.
You send me the script thing, and
You got it.
I will look it over and
Magic
pretend
happening.
I'm memorizing it, and I'll just be like on my phone. I'll be like,
Just read the article as it is, or read out excerpts or whatever. Make a whole series, because that's what we need to do. We actually need to sell this. We need to sell the idea of impeachment. We need to sell that this is all falling under these big, broad umbrellas of tyranny and treason. Like that's what's happening. And that's what we need. That's what we need to tell people. Please make an angry rant video about that.
send me the email. Put it all in an email, or like if you need to do several emails or whatever, just blow up my inbox. I don't care.
Heck yeah. All right, let's do it.
In non-impeachment news, that fly is no more.
Mhm.
And
Did
there
we
were
get-
2 different places on the rug. Thank you, Ram.
Mhm.
So you're going to hear some whining in the background as Ram now wishes to be rewarded for his mighty
Is it
kill.
good dog? Yeah.
Very good dog. He thinks it's a cat.
I've
Just
actually been
bring up
running
some
out of
important news.
motivation the last week or two, I guess. Not lack of motivation, just there's so much coming at
yeah.
me from so many different angles. On top of that, I'm trying to like manage a charity D&D game coming up in a month. I've got
Oh,
2
awesome.
big protests that I'm trying to organize and get the word out. I've got a backlog of video production work because I did this crowdfunder back in April for a Civil War documentary web series. So I've got like 3 filmed, and I still need to like assemble them and put them on so that the backers will stop threatening to lynch me. I need to get them their shirts. I need to see if anybody's down to do another round of crowdfunding for more web series
Gettysburg
episodes.
when?
And I just
Man,
like
come to
between
PA.
all the, I want to go to get, like, that's the holy grail. Like, I
It's
want to
pretty
go to
awesome.
Gettysburg. Not only do I want to go to Gettysburg, but I want to like fall in with a reenactment unit and have like a little GoPro in the pocket, so I could just be like walking out there and get like first person shooter footage of at the Gettysburg reenactment.
First-person shooter footage.
Yeah. And my camera guy was like, we should get you a horse and you should be cavalry, because he knows that I can ride a horse and that I used to joust for a Renfest. So he's like, I could see you up there like waving your saber and being like, Scotland forever. I really want to go, but we set a goal and we only got like 50% of it. And that was through constantly annoying the shit out of everybody daily. We're like,
It was.
so here's a meme. By the way, we have a crowdfunder.
It's true.
At least those videos got like slightly more than 1,000 views instead of like in previous years where they got like 17 views.
Y'all are coming up in the world. It's good.
Yeah. And all it took was me getting dressed up as General Sherman and holding like a glass of whiskey and being like, fuck the Confederacy, you fucking traitors, bootlickers, blah, blah, blah. And instead of talking about Confederates on Confederate Heritage Month, we're going to talk about these guys, the Union guys who were from the South.
I really think the Confederate Heritage Month stuff was something that really kind of started to bring Sons of Liberty to the fore. Now, granted, the
old
the
Facebook page, yes.
The truck rant videos brought the YouTube channel in, but it was the Confederate Heritage stuff that really got the Facebook page to start taking off.
Yeah, on Facebook, we were, oh man, that was wild. Like, so our original Facebook page got taken down last year about this time.
Really?
For reasons that were never explained to us. They just deleted it.
A number of sites like ours were all erased. No warning, no explanation.
Wow.
Facebook doesn't know what you're talking about. That site never existed.
But
that's
prior
crazy.
to that, every April, like starting April 1st, we would do these posts where I would like find a Southern Unionist, like fucking George Thomas, for example, who was a Union officer from the South who remained loyal. And I just started deconstructing these myths about like, oh, it wasn't about slavery. Oh, everybody was on one side, was from the South, they were all Confederates, yada, yada. And all these other things, like why they knew back then that it was treason. and why it doesn't match up with what we say today.
This is a great,
and-
I mean, being able to take all these myths, right? Like
Mhm.
there is the myth of the war of aggression, and folks really chase that and push it as far as it'll go. And I think we're still sort of in that same myth making right now. It's a little bit different in that the myth is everything is fine, right? It's just that little dog
Right.
in the fire, right? Just sipping his tea and saying,
Yeah.
no problem, we're good. But
Parallels are uncanny.
yeah, exactly. Being able to take this current moment and really like shock people into recognizing extremely
Mhm.
very bad. Like we don't have the capacity all day to wander around just like shell shocked, right? And this is the normalization process, and anything we can do to slow that down is absolutely necessary, right? Just when someone tries to defend the ICE raids, for example, just saying like, no, this is a violation of civil liberties and
Mhm.
wrong, right? Just stop the conversation dead in its tracks. It's uncomfortable, but that's what we all have to start doing in whatever way we can.
Direct parallels from slave catchers to today's
Yes,
ICE
indeed.
roundups,
Mhm.
going around looking for people.
Yeah, it's incredibly disturbing. If you know history, doubly so, you know? But a lot of folks don't know that history, and a lot of folks don't know that there is a straight line. I love the cat cam.
Sir, you guys want to see my butthole? Oh my god. Sorry, I get a little carried away when I talk about Confederate Heritage Month.
No problem. I think, well, and if I'm not like the funniest person, so I'll just bring it back to like a serious thing. But what we were talking about at the beginning of the show about veterans having that sort of credibility that not a lot of other folks do. You know, I think I see that's why I see our voices as particularly important, because when we say like, look, folks, this is actually pretty serious, folks are like, ooh, well, that's not good. You see, right? Like you seem to know what you're talking about. That's problematic if you're saying that this is a real serious problem that we have to address right now. Yeah, we got to crawl out of this normalization hole.
I just wanted to, like last year around this time, I was like, I'm looking forward to relaxing for 4 years. Narrator.
Yeah.
He did not
So
get
many of us had other plans, right? Like other things we wanted to do, other places we wanted to be. This has crept up and kind of swallowed basically everything. It's effectively a full-time job for me right now.
Mhm.
And you know, I not that I wouldn't have it any other way, but I'm grateful that I get the chance to do it, and grateful that I am both grateful that like I can use my skills in this way, and also just real mad that nobody else is doing this. I can't believe, as you were saying, I can't believe it's down to me. I can't believe that this is I am the one writing impeachment articles. That's insane. But here we are.
What's that? Shit. This Bible verse. I can't remember the specific verse, like where it came from, but it's something along the lines of, and also I heard the voice of the Lord, and I said, here I am, send me. Why's it gotta be me? Why can't it be the people who get paid to do this? Like the people that we elected,
Mm-hmm.
getting the taxpayer dollars. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
But this, I mean, the folks that they're paying, I feel like they're a huge part of the problem. The consultant industry that just keeps repeating the word bipartisanship as if it'll summon Reagan. Like why are we stuck in this world that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah. That is a long dog walk, Mac.
Well, I'm sure he's a very good dog. He probably needs a big treat or something like that. Yeah.
His dog is insane.
Yeah.
A very, very, very boisterous puppy. Big puppy.
I just see a comment in the chat here saying most of us feel like we're alone most days. And I mean that I feel it too, but we're not. There's a lot of us out there. There's Trump Trump's popularity keeps sliding, and I think that's one of the funniest parts about all of this. It is just like on a roller coaster straight down, and yet people keep acting as if there's nothing we can do, as if there's no as if there's no recourse against this crazy God King that has suddenly ascended to the throne. And really, no one likes him. No one likes this man. He is really like unpleasant, and he is harming so many people. Folks are there. I think in September, was September the last day for a lot of those furloughed or for the federal workers that have been fired? I think that tranche of people is finally coming off the payroll. Yeah. Like there are so many people who are finally we're feeling the effects of what the rampage that started in January, and it's only going to get worse from here. So many folks have lost their jobs. The tariffs
are not getting back pay either.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one. There was nothing you could do. Their propaganda would be pointless.
Exactly.
Yep. It's and honestly, like we could do such a better job of our own propaganda, right? Imagine a world where you and I didn't have to do this. Imagine a world where we could where we didn't have to spend every waking moment wondering what constitutional violation was going to be in the news next week, or tomorrow or the next hour. Wouldn't it be fantastic?
Makes so many beautiful things.
Rely on government to do the job it was going to do.
Yeah.
We might have lost Matt forever.
Nah, it takes a minute because the dog will like go out and like pee 7 times, and then in between that, it's investigating a rock that it thinks is a snake, and it's always something.
Okay. Good.
For those people that are watching or will inevitably watch the live stream and get caught up on things, if you are contemplating running for office, I have a couple of open spots on our normal live stream schedule. So if you want to get in front of the camera and talk about your platform, because this is a thing that we've been doing for many months now, I guess, interviewing aspiring candidates, whether it was, Richard Ojeda, Kat Abuzala, Bernard Taylor, Deja Fox, who regrettably did not make it. But the person who actually won that election, Adelita Grijalda, is the one that's not being seated right now because they don't want to seat her because they're afraid if they do, there's another vote for the Epstein files. So
there is a conference tomorrow that on the 8th that Kana and Massey are putting together. I believe it's about this exact thing. I don't think Epstein's victims will be there, but I believe they're holding a press conference on the 8th or the 9th.
I hope it's to enter into the congressional record as a matter of record the names of people.
Wouldn't that be a thing?
Start naming names. Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm. They did say
I'm not saying, but she says. That would be wild.
Yeah, I think we're really like in uncharted territory, right? Like what is the harm in speaking plainly and speaking out? It's the world. The world is something completely different these days.
Yeah. Because the alternative is just the dude that's like making shit up in all caps with typos and then ending it with "thank you for your attention to this matter." It's like, oh, you thought what these guys said was on the record? Let me refer you to this Truth Social tweet or retruth, the alternative facts.
Amazing that is how we can describe the president of the United States these days.
Mm-hmm. And what's even more batshit crazy is that now people like Marjorie Trader Greed, or whatever her real name is, Marjorie, I don't know, is suddenly like losing their fucking mind. they're like, oh, I'm not simping for pedophiles, and this party is, so I think it's time for me to like make some waves. So she's been on a tear like the last month where it's everything from supporting releasing the Epstein files all the way to what was the most recent thing was
That was
now she's
healthcare.
realized that the furlough is harming, you know, the with the furlough and the healthcare thing. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like watching her go woke in real time, watching her wake the fuck up in real time is like, oh,
It really brings home how much of this is performance art, in my
yes.
opinion. Like
That's
there is everybody knows what their game is and what the role they're playing is. And that's something that's actually been really helpful in thinking through how do we actually make a difference here, right? How do we the whole goal is to throw them off their script, throw them off their game, move them from the mark that they have as the maverick or the hardline right winger or the crazy liberal, like whatever role they've been assigned to play in order to keep the status quo. That's the thing to attack. Like, I mean, it is mind bending. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm super surprised that she of all people is the one that really is starting to like operate independently. But I'm glad for it. I'm glad that is happening, and hopefully more people can follow suit, because there's a real vacuum of leadership just showing up to say, okay, wait a second, you guys, this is obviously wrong. We need to do something about it. That such a low bar, but people are still just like failing to crawl over it.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I'm
All they
saying
have
this,
to do
but
is
maybe
take
more
a step.
people will follow Marjorie Taylor Greene's lead here. Bonkers. Who would have thought that sentence would ever come out of my mouth?
What a time to be alive. Like, I resent having to be on the same side of an issue as that person.
Man, I
But
agree with Bill Crystal all the time now. It's super weird. It's just the strangest
yeah,
thing. Yep.
George Conway of all people.
But I think this is kind of a critical piece of it, right? Like there's folks that are like, oh, you can't politicize whatever, or you're just doing this because you hate Trump. And like, man, I have never been less attached to a specific political party in my entire life. Like, I do not care anymore. There is no team. There is no like good or bad. There is just the people that are going to do the right thing and the people that aren't. And oh boy, yeah, it is a very weird time.
Mm-hmm. It went from being the dumbest timeline to the dumbest weird timeline.
The stupid apocalypse. Yep, that is where we are.
Well, this is normally about where I'd start to wrap it up, but I kind of don't want to with Matt being gone, because he'll come back and it'll be like an empty studio.
Well, let's take some questions from the audience then. Let's open it up.
It's just like a 15-second delay, I think. And then they have to type it out. So we're asking for questions, and then we have to stall for time so that they can get caught up with the typing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, here we go. What do the panel think about Trump still having classified documents?
Oh man, I mean, it's just a massive failure of our justice system, right? Like, his man had him in the bathroom. I don't know what buckets, just buckets of classified documents in the bathroom. Like, that's we already. This is one thing that I find a little bit frustrating. We're always looking for like the next big crime that Trump has done and stuff. And no shade to this question. I mean, it's a valid question. But there's already such a litany of undemocratic actions and some straight up treason happening there, to include the classified documents, that if anybody wanted to do anything, they have all the information that they need. Like, if you still need to like be educated around stuff, it feels a little bit gratuitous. especially if this is your job to protect and defend the Constitution. But yeah, they probably weren't checked. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would guess that if they didn't care about the stuff at Mar-a-Lago, then they probably didn't do a thorough check on this particular site.
Yeah, I think they confiscated the stuff that was potentially damaging, and the rest of it, they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's too much. All right, let's see what we got here. Where can we engage in conversations about what happens post-Trump? Bold of you to presume there will be a post. Well, everybody dies, they say. So
True.
Joni Ernst. Everyone's got to die sometime.
Yeah, that is one type of
technically,
athlete.
yes.
Yeah. It's really hard to find those right now. I'll be honest. Everyone I know is just trying to survive, trying to get by, survive the looming recession, depression that's happening, or just fighting. And it's hard to see beyond that fight. I really think those visions of an alternate future with greater community and a more responsive government are really, really refreshing. That's why I like Mamdani in New York. He clearly loves where he is. He loves the people around him. He's really like thrilled to be there doing this job. And it's uplifting. It's not politics as like greasy sewer pit. It's politics as like engine for hope. And it's nice to see, honestly. But I don't know where the big conversations about post-Trump are happening. I find it really hard to find those.
If we impeach Trump, what happens after him being impeached?
Well, so there's three pieces to this. Hello. There's three parts. He needs to be impeached, and then he needs to be convicted. And once convicted, he needs to be removed from office, right? Impeachment begins with the House. That's where the impeachment piece of it happens. Conviction happens in the Senate. So if we are successful in the impeachment campaign, then we shift to the Senate campaign. And in some ways, that's a lot easier. There's fewer people to target, and it's more focused. And we have more people for each of those senators' districts because they're not as fragmented. So we may be able to leverage a lot more force, especially if we grow fairly quickly. And then the third one is removal from office. And if we are able to give Congress a spine to do the first two, I am hopeful that third one will go smoothly. But we saw what happened when he tried to leave office the last time. So hopefully that does not happen again.
Why does the Fed have the power to commandeer states' National Guard, and what's stopping states from forming a well-regulated militia controlled at the state level? I would actually love to see Illinois National Guard show up and corral these everything's bigger in Texas National Guardsmen.
I mean, that's a showdown we're really trying to avoid, right? Different armed forces from the different states facing each other off.
I mean, don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
This is true. But that first part of the question is interesting, right? Why does the Fed have the power to commandeer states' National Guard? They only have that power under really specific circumstances, and they do not have it here. And that's something that actually a Trump-appointed judge has been telling the administration for the last week is you cannot do this. And then they just keep doing it and violating her court orders. So it's turning into a much bigger deal because they are, so far, the courts, there have been a lot of these actions that have been found to be illegal, but generally, there's not as aggressive an undermining or a flagrant ignoring of the court order in this way. I say in general, just like people don't usually do that because that's a stupid thing to do because the courts get really pissed when you ignore them, right? But they're doing it here, that's for sure. So I just want to make really clear that the Fed doesn't actually have the power to commandeer the state National Guard in this way, and definitely not to send it in over the objections of the the state officials, that those people are responsible for the safety and law and order of that state, and they will ask for help if they need it. But this is, it's a clusterfuck when it comes to, am I allowed to swear on here? All right.
I don't fucking know. You fucking tell me.
But yeah, it's a big cluster when it comes to this specific instance. There's actually a very good lawsuit that Illinois just filed about why this is all super illegal and why the federal government is wrong for doing all of this. And it features that Chipocalypse, the Apocalypse Now meme that Trump put out a few weeks ago, right? Just saying Chicago will learn what war is or something like that.
So weird.
Yeah. And I mean, that's part of the case, right? Like, here is the federal government planning on levying war against an American city.
Here's a federal court case based on, memes. Memes are no evidence.
Exactly. Meme culture coming
This
to the
is the
big
timeline
leagues.
we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to wrap things up here. It's a convenient stopping point. Sorry we didn't get to every single question. Just to go back over my live stream schedule. Let's see. All right. We've got Tuesday, October 14th, 7 p.m., David Clayton from North Carolina District 5. The day after that, the next day, special live stream with Kat Abu-Ghazala. So that's Wednesday the 15th. That's going to take place at 4 p.m.
I ain't going to be on that one.
That's fine. I can handle it.
Can you? Can you?
Absolutely.
Without this game-winning smile at your back?
Tuesday, the 21st of October, 7 p.m., we've got Chris Volpe running for Senate in Ohio. And that is the extent of my schedule. So there's a whole bunch of open blocks for all you people that are contemplating running for office or already are and want to get on there. Everybody that's in my comments is like, oh, you should interview so-and-so. You know what? I would love to. Why don't you get their email address and send it to me and Janet so that we can reach out? That's how this works. You suggest a thing. Give us the fucking email address. She's like, oh, you should. I should. Let me just whip open my liberal Rolodex. Librolodex. I don't. It's probably a neat portmanteau.
We'll shop that one. A little.
Yeah.
Ready for the next show.
I get my writing team on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little nap.
Yeah, well, Discord.
I need a writing team. Speaking of which, email me the thing or things that you want me to do, and I will absolutely just get up there and start reading the whole thing and be like,
well, okay then. Oh,
right.
You mean
Fam of Liberty. Yeah. As a veteran.
Mm-hmm. we will write you a script and we will just put words in your mouth.
As a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plugs the t-shirt. Excellent. Good.
No, you gotta. All right, so I'll have my operator hat on, and I got my my memorial bracelets for buddies that didn't come home, and I'll put on some 511 pants and have my DD214 shirt.
Perfect. Yep.
Classic vet bro look.
I'm serious, man. That would be great. That would be great just to have it out there and in your truck ranting about it. Just break into a clause in the impeachment article whenever you feel like it. Angry veteran stuck in traffic rants about tyranny.
Perhaps a gratuitous plate carrier on too, just to play up the "I'm a vet bro" angle, because that seems to be a thing in these videos too, that I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I haven't seen I've seen the guys with the ball caps and the sunglasses, but I've never seen them wearing plate carriers.
I saw a couple of them. There were two in my Facebook. Both of them with like they're like wearing a t-shirt, but like they've got their operator plate carrier on with their slightly misaligned patches. And it's just like,
oh boy,
really? Need that for going to the kitchen? Do you?
A lot of cosplay happening.
Cosplatriot.
Apologies,
Who doesn't love a good portmanteau?
Mm-hmm.
Ram
All
is
right.
trying to dig through the carpet. Come here.
That is going to be our show for the evening. Keira, thank you so much for joining us. And also, Matt, thank you for being the other admin, helping me pinch hit with this bad boy. Bad boy being the stream.
Pleasure to be here. Yeah, really fantastic.
It was
So
great
glad.
having you here.
Yep. Call me back anytime, and folks in the audience, I'm more than
hell
happy
yeah.
to answer questions and
You
connect
can
you
be
to
on
your
this
reps.
show every Tuesday if you want. I don't even
Mm.
look that up.
Impeachment update.
All
We
right.
can do that.
Yes. All right. If you know, you know. 2 claps and a Rick.
Woo! Now it's time for the throat punch.